Welcome to Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health. I'm Bob McElligott, joined by Blue Jackets President of Hockey Operations, John Davidson. Well, we've wrapped up the 2012-2013 season, and John, now it's time to look forward. What will be the next step for you and Jarmo Kekalainen to build this team for the future?
Well, there's a lot of things that go on right after a season, and number one is we have to get players signed that need to be signed, and that's a process. Some happen real quick, some take a little bit longer. You're dealing in the business world, you're dealing with agents, and we feel strong that we'll get everything taken care of. So that's a good thing. We're dealing with the draft, the upcoming draft, and earlier in the season we were looking at maybe drafting 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. Now it's not happening. It's 14 and above, so we've got 3. So we really have to have a series of meetings, which we will have, and zero in on the players that we think are going to be available. We also have other options going into the draft with moving up or moving back. Who knows? We'll see what comes to us as long as we're prepared. And Jarmo, I think, has run something like 12 different drafts. He'll be ready for that. It'll be good. We have free agency coming up. We have development camps coming up. We have everything coming up. So it's just business as usual, and it's a situation where the frustration of not making it hits you, but as soon as you get over that and start thinking about what's at hand, back to work you go.
Who are the big targets of the guys that are on your team right now, the ones that you want to get re-signed and you hope that it can happen quickly? What are your big targets there?
Well, obviously Bob, the goalkeeper, Bobrovsky, and that'll be a negotiation. We'll get going and try to get into the books. And there's others, obviously. We have to make decisions on roster too, which isn't easy at all. We can look at our club and say, boy, what a great second half, and it was. When you lose 5 in regulation of the last 29, that's really something special. But you know what? All the teams around you are going to improve. We're going into a new conference, headed to the east, and we have to make sure we evolve. And you have to sit down, which we will, right in the middle of doing, and go over our lines and our group of players, who we think we should bring back, who we may not re-sign, all these types of things. And we do it in conjunction with our coaching staff. We'll have real serious meetings about each and every player, talk about strengths, deficiencies, what we need, where we have to get better, and it really becomes a process. It just doesn't happen quickly with a snap of a finger. It takes a lot of time and effort and thought, and then it takes execution with management in place to try to make our team better. But we have to get better.
You've spent the last couple of months getting out on the road and scouting and watching players. The word is this is going to be a very deep draft, and as you said, you're going to be picking 14th and above, barring any packaging of picks to move in that draft. What have you seen? How excited are you about the talent in this draft?
Oh, I'm excited. I think what you see this year is there's more what you call A-plus players that may step right in and play, and it's also a draft where when you drop down a notch or 2 even, there's still a huge amount of those players available. So it's a question of trying to find the right one. It's trying to find players that are going to fit your needs. And it's also a case of making sure that we find the players that we want that have character. Character is a big part of winning. We weren't the most talented team in the league, but we had a lot of character. And because of that, we've set that base a little bit, and we want to make sure we continue with that.
Whether it's through the draft, through free agency, through trades, whatever the case may be, how important will be adding more scoring to this team?
It's important, but you want to make sure you add scoring without losing what you already have, which is the identity of your team, and that's being tough defensively, keeping the puck out of the net. Sure, it'd be nice to run out and find players that are nasty, tough, 225-pound guys who are going to score you 25, 30 goals. But I haven't seen any fall out of the sky lately. They're hard to find, and a lot of times you have to develop your own guys. So we're going to scour. We're going to look. At the same time, we've got to make sure we don't ruin what we already have.
Speaking of what you already have, you do have some young players right now that are playing in the American Hockey League playoffs. Ryan Johansson is one, Dalton Proud is one, and some up-and-comers there. How important will the playoffs be for those players?
Well, I'd like to see them make a deep run. If you study teams that have won the American League Championship, Then you see their young players move into the NHL. It's invaluable. That's experience of winning. I don't care what level it is, if it's the Memorial Cup in junior hockey or if it's the Final Four in college hockey, the American League, Russian leagues, Swedish, Finnish leagues. If you're on a championship team, you've gone through something, and you then have that experience going forward, knowing what it takes. And for us, with not making the playoffs, we're able to send Ryan Johansson and Dalton Prout down. I hate using the word down, but to Springfield, and these two came a long way this year. Prout was a real surprise. This kid's got a great future. Ryan Johansson has a great future, and he came on. And if you think of some of the games that he played, where he was head-to-head against Joe Thornton, head-to-head against Sedin, head-to-head against Getzlaff, Backus, people like that, and he came through with flying colors. This is a real good start to his career. So yeah, and they're big bodies. Those are things that are good. Down the stretch, a huge game in San Jose, and Johansson scores the winner late. That's experience in pressure games. Now they're going to Springfield, playing in pressure games under a great coaching staff. So this is what we need as far as evolution goes to make the organization better.
So the heavy lifting is just beginning.
Yeah.
John, thank you very much.
Bob, my pleasure. Thanks.
That's John Davidson. He is the president of hockey operations for the Blue Jackets. I'm Bob McElligott, and thanks for watching Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health.